Welcome back to Century 22 Luxury. Taking risks applies to almost every aspect of your life, and is also a great way for you to succeed in life. Those who are unwilling to take the risk face an unfulfilled and mediocre life. This is the second part of a continuous video. Hence, if you have not watched the first part, be sure to click here to watch. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Risk being in the public eye. Remember this point. Take risks under your own name from the previous video? Risk being in the public eye is just an evolution from that point. If you do not remember, or haven't watched the previous video, click on the top right corner to watch it. This is where everyone begins to look at you. There's a conflicting thing happening within each and every one of us, that on one hand, wants the world to acknowledge us, we want to be seen, but not looked at in detail and analyzed. That's the paradox of fame. The better you are at what you do, the more fame comes your way. Fame is not the problem, but the celebrity status that comes with it. You want to be famous for what you do, but not become a celebrity. We think there's a sweet spot between the two. It took us years to understand that there's value in fame, in being in the public eye. It opens new doors for you that would have been closed otherwise. Invest in your image, assume risk under your own name, say what you will do, and do what you say. But do not get caught up in the whirlwind of status signaling. If you look in the mirror and see a label on your forehead, your descent has already begun. Stay humble but do phenomenal work. Number 2. Risk going against the consensus and be right. This is the straightforward path to massive success in life. The more you think about it, the more you realize it is true. If you want to be successful in life, you have to go against the consensus, or what everybody thinks, and be right. People will tell you that something is impossible. They will tell you to not even try because it will not work. You're not good enough, smart enough, talented enough, not born in the right country, not born with the right parents, skin color, gender, or simply that nobody was able to do it. The thing is, everything is impossible until someone does it. Our growing wealth is the result of ignoring everybody else and focusing on the process. We said this before, but if we are living in a simulation, then self-belief is the cheat code to getting everything you want. Risk believing in your idea and follow through. You would be amazed by what you find at the end of your rainbow. Number 3. Risk being yourself when everyone wants you to be someone else. You are more than your clothes, the things you buy, the home you live in. You are more than what your parents taught you when you were 7 years old. You are more than the trauma you have suffered growing up. You are an individual. You are separate from everything else. You're not what your uncle thinks you are, or should be. You are not what your parents wish you were. You are not what your friends see you as. You are not even all of those things combined. The moment you realize how short life is, and how meaningless the expectations of others are in terms of real impact on your existence, the second phase of your life begins, that of finding who the hell you are, and then living as that person. Life is too short to go through it pretending you are somebody else. Besides, being yourself can become a great competitive advantage when you go for job interviews, presenting, persuading someone, or just doing anything out there in the world. There will always be people out there who will like your personality, allowing you to have a better chance over others. To find out more, click on the top right corner to find out how to find your competitive advantage to win anything and anywhere. Number 4. Risk finding your true limits. Want to know a brutal truth? Most people quit at 40% of their ability. As humans, we fail to understand our true limits because our mind and body are designed to shelter us from harm and into comfort as quickly as possible. Most people go through life never knowing what they can do. They choose to underperform, doing the universe a big disservice. You were put on this planet to find out what you're capable of. Going to the grave without discovering that is just wasted potential. Why are you scared to find out? What do you quit before your limits? What don't you test yourself to see how far you can go? Something extraordinary happens if you do. You find the truth. You find where your ability stands at this point in your life. You have a clear benchmark. From work to life, to relationships, go the extra mile and make them extraordinary. For the man who risks finding his own limits, the world opens up with limitless opportunities. Number 5. Risk having your own metrics for success. Here is the paradox of success. Success is a self-fulfilling game. The only real way to win is to decide that you have won the game. Otherwise, you will be in constant pursuit of something that you'll never catch up with. Even if you achieve what other people consider success, if it is not your own consideration, you will not feel like you have made any progress in life. This is how people end up hating their lives, despite having a high-profile job or making a lot of money. If it does not meet your own metrics for success, you will feel like a failure, like you could have done more, or be happier doing something else. People will judge you based on their own metrics. Please note that you are under no obligation to live by them. Risk having your own metrics. That is what the phrase, "you do you," actually means. When was the last time you took a risk, and it worked out? Allow other people to learn from your journey, and maybe you will learn some from theirs. Finally, here is a bonus. Don't risk the long term for the short term. Every time you sacrifice the long term for the short term, it will backfire and result in sustaining unhappiness. This rule spares no one, and it applies in every aspect of your life. The moment the short-term endorphins fade away, the realization comes to the forefront, from the little things like unhealthy food habits, to cheaters, or criminals. The long term is a lot more expensive than the short term, and the payment method is quite different. It will haunt you as that part of you never goes away. That is life for you. You cannot rewrite the past. So be careful with where you deploy risk. We encourage you to always risk the short term for the long term, not the other way around. It will be the crucial difference between getting what you want or not getting anything at all. If you are finally ready to take a big risk in life, please write the word risk in the comments and like this video. Thank you for sticking with us till the end. Spending money to take risks is one thing, but saving up for emergencies is also a must. Hence, watch this video here to find out the 10 things that you should not waste money on, especially when you are in need of money to take your risks. Lastly, be sure to subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.